Hello, it's Amy and welcome to today's strength workout specifically designed for us women over 50. Today, we're going to focus on turning those can't do's into can do's. I'll show you my top 5 exercises to build strength over 50. You may know all of these, but in the past, thought that you felt like you couldn't do them because they were too tough or too uncomfortable. But don't worry, you're in the right place. With each move, I'm going to show you the full move and then 2 or 3 modifications that might work for your body so you can build strength safely and effectively. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. You ready to get started? One thing before we get started with the warm-up, you will need some things. I'm pointing to my weights over here. Yes, you could do these without weights, but I'm going to show you how you use weights to make the move more effective in building strength. You will need a chair. In some of the moves, the modifications, you'll be holding onto a chair or sitting in the chair. And you will need a mat. Another modification for one of the moves is beginning on the floor. All right, now let's get to the warm-up. The first thing before any strength workout is to get your body warm. Join me for a quick warm-up. First, let's just march in place. How are you doing today? I love strength training, and I'm so glad that you press play because it means that you want to learn a little bit more because you know how important it is. It's the secret to longevity, but it can be scary, and a lot of people have tried it in the past and then hurt yourself. I'm going to be showing you now. As I'm filming this, I'm almost 62. And if I can do it, you can do it, all right? Step side to side. The purpose of the warm-up is just to get the blood flowing, get the muscles a little bit warm, and the joints lubricated. I'm always saying that motion is lotion for those creaky joints. So you get them moving. Add some arms, pulling your shoulder blades back. Let's get the shoulders working too. We're just going to be doing 5 basic strength moves, but they use every joint in your body right now. Add some butt kickers if you can, stretching out the front of your leg. Good, just a quick little warm up. And this is the time that I check in with my body too. See how my shoulders are feeling, my knees are feeling, my feet are feeling, my hips, my back, just checking in. Speaking of back and side, let's reach up and over. It's a good chance to say, you know what, I better pay attention to that joint. Maybe I'll choose one of Amy's modifications because I know that move is going to hurt that joint. Now reach in front, stretch out, point your toes too. Let's get the feet warmed up. This is my basic warm up I do in all of my workouts, my workout videos. Good, so I can talk to you and I don't have to think about it. Now just bring the arms up and down. You can march in place, keeping those legs moving. Good, now in and out. Oh, stretch out that chest. Yes, we will be working the chest. We're gonna be working the big major muscle groups, the top 5, because we wanna get the biggest bang for our buck and start strength training as quickly as we can. Roll your shoulders around a little bit. And then forward the other way. Take a deep breath in. And we're gonna get started with the first exercise. The first move is my favorite. It's the squat. Why? Because it works on our glutes and our core and our legs, inner thigh, outer thigh, and your arms if you're using some weights to do it. And why is that important? Because we need to squat all day, every day to get out of a chair, to get in and out of a car, to get off the toilet. So I'm going to show you my favorite squat because it allows me to lift heavy weights. And then I'm going to show you a couple of modifications that you can try and then learn to progress to my favorite move. Okay? All right. The first, I call it the goblet squat. And I'm using one weight and the heaviest that I can grab. And I hold it right here in my hands, feet a little bit wider than my hips, abs pulled in, shoulders back and down. My knees are pointing towards my toes, which are slightly out. For me, that helps my knees a little bit. And then again, abs pulled in, shoulders back and down. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale as you come up, squeezing the glutes. And I try to get as low as I possibly can. My goal is to try to get my elbows to my knees. And some days, the first ones are always the hardest. That works or not. Let me show you a couple modifications. No weight at all. Just hanging out, doing a normal squat, just down and up. You gotta make sure that you're pushing your butt back and not doing a squat just by bending your knees. That's not gonna work the leg muscles. Another option is to hold on to a chair. I did this when I was recovering from my mastectomy, using your upper body to help you. Lower and then push up. That really helps. Or you can sit in a chair and come up all the way if you want, or if you're really just progressing, you just come up a little bit, engage those muscles, and then come back down. Now you pick one, and we're gonna do 10 to 12 together. My ultimate goal for myself and for members and clients that I train is to try to get to 15 of a move with perfect form. I'm gonna stick with these 8 and I'm gonna try to get to 15. Join me, pick the modification that you want, and we're gonna do it together. Now, if you can't get to 15, that is okay. That's just a goal. But the goal of the 15 is if you can do 15 with perfect form, it means that you can progress to either, for me, I would progress to a heavier weight, or I'd go slower, or I'd go like little pulses or something. Or if you're starting out with chair squats, then you could progress to just holding on, or no holding on, and then progress to adding some weights. It's all about progress, not perfection. And speaking of perfection, I completely lost count. I have no idea how many I've just done. So I'm just gonna do a couple more. You're gonna have to count for yourself. Definitely get your heart rate going when you're working those big leg muscles. I always say that strength training is always cardio too. All right, let's move on to the next move. The next move is an upper body move called the row. It's gonna be working the big back muscles and your arm muscles as well. It's a really good functional movement. You're bending down and you're rowing just like you would grab like a lawnmower or something and pulling or picking something up off the floor like a grandchild picking up off the floor, okay? But it can be a little bit challenging on your low back. So I'm gonna show you a couple of modifications. First, I'm going to show you the full row, what I do, and how I progress to using heavier weights. I'm just going to use these 8s today. Bending, and that's another thing. When you are starting to do strength training, you want to make sure you're being careful and safe throughout the entire workout, and that's even grabbing your weights. So you want to make sure you're bending down to pick up your weights, or your weights are up on a bench. When I start lifting heavy weights, I put them up a little bit higher to save my back. All right, for a row, the objective is abs pulled in, shoulders back and down, good posture, even when you're exercising like this, not for when you're just sitting or walking around. And then you bend your knees slightly and you hinge forward at your hips. You don't have to be completely flat back, maybe like a 45 degree. And then you're gonna bring your elbows in, squeezing up at the top, and then slowly lowering down. Okay? Now, that can be a little bit challenging for your low back. So to modify that, one way is holding onto a chair. I love holding onto a chair. And then just taking one weight, holding on, giving that back some support by using your upper body strength. And then you just row with one arm. If that really hurts, what you can do if that hurts your low back is put your knee on a chair. Oh, that chair is squeaky. And then brace yourself and put the whole support of your upper body on your arm like that. Keeping your abs pulled in and engaged will help protect your low back. And then you just give me a row there. All right, I want you to pick the modification or the move that your body feels safe doing right now, and grab your weights, or actually no weights at all if you're just starting out. Go through the motion, make sure you have the form really good. And let's do our 10 to 15, okay? Let's see, I'm not sure I'll count be able to count again. I usually use a timer in all my workouts so I can talk and I don't have to count. Okay, but I'm gonna stop right there. Counting is important so you can see how you're progressing, because that magic 12 to 15 rule, if you can do that safely with no form issues and no problems, you can progress to the next level or the next weight. Are you ready to go? Pick your level. Let's do 12 to 15 together. Squeezing at the top. If you cannot get the little squeeze at the top, it means that your weights are too heavy. As soon as that low back starts to pull, you either have to stop or pull your tummy in, your abs in a little bit, and that helps stabilize that back. Bending your knees helps as well. Keeping your neck in line with your spine and your back nice and straight, no rounding of your back. That's bad for your posture, and if you've got osteoporosis, you don't want to forward fold your spine. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come up nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. How'd you do? Next move, we're going to work on the lower half with a very functional move called the deadlift. It works the glutes even more. It's very knee friendly. You're not squatting down. Also the hamstrings and the front of the thighs and your arms if you're using weights. I'm going to show you the full move that I do, and then I'll show you a couple modifications. Bending down to get those weights. I usually use 2 weights for this move. It's similar to the row in that you're going to be hinging forward, nice flat back, abs pulled in, shoulders back and down. And then you're just going to graze your legs as you're hinging your butt back. Graze your legs. Feel those abs, the butt kick in. Abs are pulled in. You're going to squeeze those glutes and then use them to come up. And you're going to come down and do that. All right, again, this can be a little bit hard on the low back. So what you can do is use very, very light weights or just 1 weight and hold on to that chair. You gotta love that chair. And you can do just a 1-armed deadlift, holding onto the chair to get some support. Now I really want you to if you're holding on, you wanna make sure you're squeezing those glutes right there and use them to lift up and not the back. If that is too hard on your back, I'm gonna show you a glute move called the bridge that works similar muscles. Hang on, I'm gonna get on the mat. Here's a modification if you cannot do a deadlift. Hopefully you can get down on the ground. So you're gonna lay on the ground, putting your feet about a hand and a half away from your glutes. Deep breath in, and you just push your booty up as high as it will go. Feel those glutes and hamstrings engage, and then come back down, blowing out and up. Trying to keep the knees from splaying out. Keep them in. In fact, holding onto a pillow can also help as well. Get the most out of this move. Great modification for the squat and the deadlift. Now pick the deadlift version that you're going to do with me, and let's do our 10 to 15. I'll say 10 to 15 of those. Okay, abs pulled in, shoulders back and down, or if you're on the mat doing a bridge, same thing, keeping that back nice and straight, head in line with your spine, and then let's go. Good. The key here is going nice and slow and focus on the muscles that you're building, the glutes. This hinge forward movement is so functional because we have to do that all the time, hinging forward to pick something up. And if you do have osteoporosis, I want you to get really good at not reaching down to pick it up and bending your spine. You're keeping your back nice and straight. Breathing out on the way up, focusing on those glutes. I feel mine. I lost count though. Let's go 3 more. 2, and 1 more. And 1. Good, how'd you do? The next move is called a shoulder press, stretching something straight up over your head. Why? Because we need to lift that luggage into the luggage space, or put something on the top shelf, or pick up our grandkids like that, okay, having fun. But shoulders are notoriously a problem for women over 50. Once we hit menopause and that estrogen drops, frozen shoulder is common, joint issues are common. The shoulders are so complex that the elasticity that we lose because of the lack of estrogen can show up more readily in the shoulders. So you have to be very delicate. Do not push through any shoulder joint pain at all. Really do a modification or go talk to your doctor immediately. All right, my favorite version is overhead shoulder press, grabbing some weights. These are heavier weights, but that's okay. Abs pulled in, shoulders back and down. I sometimes put one foot in front to keep me from leaning back as I try to do this. You pick. I'm gonna bring these up and I'm gonna come up just like that, up and down. That's the version that I do. I have been experimenting with bringing my elbows in. The experts that I follow say that that can help with not having an impingement on one of your shoulder joints, okay? Now that motion alone might be so difficult that you can't do that. I just want you to skip that move altogether. It probably means that you need some work with a physical therapist, but by all means start out completely with no weights at all and get that form perfect before you move on. But let's go ahead and do that together if you can. Abs pulled in, shoulders back and down. Take a deep breath in, and as you push up, blow out, just like that. I'm gonna bring my elbows in just because I'm learning that's a better practice. And I am working the tops of my shoulders. I can feel it. 4, now I'm gonna count on this one. See, I'm getting all sweaty. See, strength training is cardio. You are getting that heart rate up. In fact, my watch just told me that it thought I was on the elliptical. 4, 3, 2, and 1. How did you do? Leave me a comment below if shoulder press is out of the question for you, okay? I'd love to know. The next move that we're gonna do is to work the chest muscles. It's called the push-up. Everybody's heard of a push-up, which can be out of the question for a lot of people, including myself. It's been over a year since I had my second reconstruction from my mastectomy, but I'm still having trouble with that push-up. But let me show you what I can do. If you need to Google a really good push-up, you might have to Google someone else to get a perfect one because I obviously can't do it. I'm gonna be on my knees. You can also be on your toes. I have my hands about a little bit wider than the mat. And deep breath in, back nice and straight. In, blow in. And up. Oh, I did one. Back nice and straight. And up. But they are quite challenging. They're an amazing move because God forbid we fall down. We want to be able to push ourselves up from the floor. If that is impossible, what you can also do is just get down on the mat and grab your weights, small or large, depending on what you want, and do a chest press. Rolling down gently, arms out to the side, slightly lower than your shoulders. Deep breath in, push the low back into the mat and press straight up and down. There's also a way you can progress to doing push-ups by doing them on the wall. I've been trying to progress to a full good push-up by starting on the wall. Let me show you real quick if you can see. I'm gonna come over here. Hopefully the camera can see me there. All right, arms on the wall, legs straight, as far away from the wall as you can. And all you're gonna do is bring your nose to the wall, bending your arms, keeping your back straight, and pushing away from the wall. You'll feel the same muscles engage right here. It's just gonna be less pull against gravity than being on the floor. Pick your level and let's get to our 10 to 15. Here we go. Deep breath in, and you gotta count on your own because I am not gonna be able to count for you. Trying to get to 15 and with perfect form as soon as you can, that's when you're gonna modify and progress, not modify, you're gonna progress. Choose a different level, choose a heavier weight. I can feel this in my chest, and it's also working my biceps and my triceps. Biggest bang for your buck, those bigger muscles always recruit the smaller ones. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Set those weights aside. How did you do? down on your mat, why don't you click over to my 10-minute ab and core workout. I just uploaded an updated version from when I filmed in 2018 with all the learnings I've had over the last 5 years on being safe, and especially if you've got osteoporosis. So check that out. I'll put that link below, and I think it's up here somewhere too. Great job. How'd that feel? Don't make the mistake I used to make years and years ago. Don't skip the stretch. Let's take a very, very quick stretch. Take a deep breath in. Reach your arms up overhead. Reach out through the armpits and the tummy. Good. Oh, stretch side to side. Ease the tension that might have come up from you pushing yourself in a way that you haven't pushed before. Oh, I'm so proud of you for trying strength training, because it is, as I said in the beginning, of the secret to longevity. We start to lose muscle mass when we hit our 50s, when our 30s, when our estrogen starts to drop. If you can, just bring 1 foot forward and stretch out the back of that leg just a little bit. You can also find, I've got some other stretches on this channel, and definitely a ton in the Be Healthy Enough workout library. After workout stretches. So if you're not getting enough, listen to your body and stretch anything that is feeling a little off, and then the other side. Good. And then bring 1 foot back, stretch out the calf for a second. And then the hip flexor by pushing your hip forward, stretching out this muscle right here. And then the other side. Oh. Stretch the calf for a second. For me, if both feet are going in the same direction, I get a more effective calf stretch. And then push that hip forward. Stretch out that hip flexor. Let's give our back a little bit of love. Flat back, and then a light roll up if you can. And flat back, and a light roll up. Good. As we finish up this workout and stretch, remember that modifying your workout is a smart and effective way to stay active. It's not about doing things perfectly. It's about consistency and listening to your body and progressing when you're ready. You did an amazing job today by focusing on what you can do and making smart modifications. You're building strength, staying safe, and keeping your body moving. Remember, fitness is a journey and every step counts. If you enjoyed this workout, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe for more videos designed specifically for us women over 50. Let's keep moving together. Oh, and comment below with your favorite modified exercise. And let's keep inspiring each other to stay strong, active, and healthy. See you in the next video. Bye.